guys, welcome to Witches of the Moon. I'm your Wednesday host, and this week's topic is over reincarnation in the afterlife. But I'm going to stick more towards reincarnation, because that's something that has always really interested me. So before I did this video, I dove into my Book of Shadows, and I pulled out some information that I thought was pretty interesting. I've been studying up on reincarnation for quite some time, so I know quite a bit about it. However, the things that I tell you, you might not agree with, and that's okay. Feel free to leave your comments down in the description bar. So, as I told you before, my Book of Shadows is not the best organization skill that I have. I have pages here and there and everywhere, because when I read something, I don't always have my Book of Shadows with me, so I just kind of jot it down. So after I jot it down on a piece of paper or whatnot, then I'll tend to rewrite it and stick it in my Book of Shadows. But it's everywhere. So what I got out of my Book of Shadows is a little bit this and a little bit of that, and it's no in any particular order. So if I kind of jump around on the topic a little bit, that's just the way I learned it. But to me, to be reincarnated, yes, I believe in it. I've always wanted to have a past life reading done on me, but I know that I've had a few people offer to do a past life reading on me, but I've turned them down. And it's hard to explain. It's just in my head, it's just weird like this, because part of me wants to know what my past lives were, but then another part of me doesn't want to know. And that part of me that doesn't want to know always comes out right before I'm supposed to have a reading done. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not supposed to know. Or maybe the reason I'm not supposed to know is the reason I've been put back on this earth is because I haven't accomplished it yet. So that's just my take on it. But for me, the reincarnation is when you die. Everybody tells you when you grow up, when you're younger and you don't understand about death. A lot of people tell you, especially family, will tell you that your body will die, but your soul will not. And I truly believe that. I believe that when our body does die, our soul does carry on. Now, that being said, I also believe that what we do in our life while we're living it, right here in the now, will determine what happens to us, what happens to our soul when we pass on. If you are in this world now and you do nothing but make other people miserable, bully, if you're just a mean person in general, I believe in karma, yes. However, I also believe that a lot of things that we do in our life, when somebody says, oh, I wasn't affected by this karma, not yet. Because I believe that like I said before, I believe that how you spend your life, as if you're living it right now, will determine what happens to you in your next life. And what is happening in your life now is a result of what you have done in your past life. So if you right now are living a miserable life, that probably has to do with the way that you lived your life in a past life. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I believe that if you tend to, what's the term? Of course, I didn't write that part down. But it's been said in quite a few books that I've read, and research that I have done, tends to say that if you lead your life to the point where you make others not so happy, then you have a greater chance of coming back as something that does not make you happy. It's really hard to explain, but I've read in a few places that if you make it your mission in life to, like I said, ruin other people's lives or make other people miserable or bully them, then when you come back as your next life, you might not come back as human. You can come back as something else as a result of your actions. Not being human, meaning you can come back as an animal. You can come back as a plant. You can come back as any living creature. It does not have to be human. Now, to get a little bit more technical about the word reincarnation. Reincarnation is actually a Latin word that actually means entering the flesh again. That's what reincarnation means in Latin, entering the flesh again. Other English words that have been used in the reincarnation, also other words can be rebirth and transmigration. If you read or something, if you're out there reading something in a book or online and you see these terms, rebirth or transmigration, there's another one too that I can't think of off the top of my head. Metapsychosis, something like that. That's another term too, but if you hear these terms somewhere, that's what it's referring to, is reincarnation. Reincarnation actually dates back to the Iron Age, which is around 1200 BC, and it was first founded, I guess. Founded's really not really what I'm trying to go with here, but it was that far back. It was Buddhism and Hinduism that really believed in the reincarnation. That's where it's not where it came from, but that's where more and more and more people started believing in reincarnation, is through Buddhism and Hinduism. Also, another thing that I found that was quite interesting is that many young children will actually remember their past lives better than adults will. And mainly they will see them through, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling, I'm trying to find the right words. Many will see them as dreams. So if you have a young child and they come to you and they're talking gibberish, something that you might not understand, you really need to listen to them, because that's probably something that you need to know. The reason I say that is because if they can give you information on what they're seeing, then that might give you an insight on how they're going to live their life now. And that might prepare you in helping them grow, meaning when they come to difficult points of their life, you'll know how they're going to react to it, because you can use their experiences from their past life. Now, that's not the case with everybody, because not everybody was human in a past life. So you would just have to go with your better judgment there. So I think I covered everything. Some of the reasons that one goes... Okay, here we go again. Some of the reasons that you can have a past life, or when you are reincarnated. Yes, that's what I was looking for. When you are reincarnated, there are some things, like I was saying before, that you do in your life that may affect your next life. For instance, these are the ones I had to write down. One reason is you could be put in the next life to experience the fruits of your own karma. Meaning, if you're a bad person, you're gonna feel it in the next life. That's why a lot of people think that they don't believe in karma now, but you know what? You might not be affected by it this life, but you can almost bet you will be affected by it in another life. Another reason could be to satisfy your own desires. If you left this world and in the next world you wanted to, let's say that you had, something bad happen in your life, and the first reaction to some people is revenge. Well, that could be the reason for your next life. That could be another reason to be reincarnated, is to get revenge or to satisfy your desire. Another thing would be to fulfill a debt. If, say, somebody saved your life in this life and you didn't know this person and you were reincarnated, and you could be reincarnated to fulfill that debt. For instance, you could maybe, in your next life, you could save somebody's life. You would be paying back your debt of them, just figure it out. Another thing would be to undergo sufferings due to your actions. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning. If you're put on this earth, or if you think that you're put on this earth to make other people miserable, then when you leave this world and this realm and you are put in queue to be reincarnated, your actions could result in being reincarnated into something that's non-human, and that could be a form of universal punishment. That's how I see it anyway. I mean, granted, there's a lot of people that think, oh, I want to come back as a cute little puppy dog. Wouldn't it suck if that little puppy dog was one of them that you see on TV that's being malnourished and being used in dog fights and stuff? Karma's a bitch, let me tell you. So that is this week's topic over reincarnation. And like I said, the topic was actually over reincarnation and the afterlife, but I wanted to stick with what I knew about reincarnation. So, yeah. If you have any topics that you want us to cover, please leave me a comment on my channel, or just leave me a comment. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next week, blessed be.